Tonight, budget proposal. Duluth's mayor lays out her spending plan, how she hopes to balance the city's finances during the pandemic.
And surveying the community, why a local group is hoping to gain a better understanding of people's health in the area.
Plus, safe learning fallout, why a group of parents isn't happy with Duluth's return to learn plan just 2 days into the school year.
From CBS3 Duluth, this is the CBS3 News at 6.
Good evening, I'm Kristen Bakke.
And I'm Anthony Matt. Thanks for joining us. Within the last hour, we learned that both President Trump and presidential hopeful Joe Biden will be in Minnesota next week.
The Trump campaign just announced the president will be visiting Bemidji next week.
The campaign stop is scheduled for next Friday, September 18th. It's part of the president's Great American Comeback event. This is the first time he's visited northern Minnesota this campaign cycle. He visited Duluth back in 2018.
For the first time since officially becoming the Democratic nominee, presidential candidate Joe Biden is traveling to Minnesota. The release did not specify where in Minnesota he'll be traveling to, but said his visit is set for Friday, September 18th. His wife, Dr. Jill Biden, visited Minnesota earlier this week. President Donald Trump's campaign has made 3 stops in Duluth in as many months, with Donald Trump Jr.'s visit Wednesday being the most recent.
Well, tonight we're expecting to get a better idea of just how big of a financial impact the pandemic will have on Duluth next year.
Mayor Emily Larson is about to present her 2021 budget proposal to the City Council.
This budget coming after a year when COVID-19 put the city in a multi-million-dollar deficit.
CBS3's Natalie Grant has been following that proposal for us tonight.
Now, earlier this summer, Duluth Mayor Emily Larson said that the city's projected deficit due to the coronavirus pandemic was at $25 million. Now, that deficit includes tax and general fund shortfalls, along with losing out on other things like city fees and licenses. Now, she did, however, say back in June that the city did save $3 million through layoffs and a hiring freeze. So with that in mind, Larson is expected to lay out how 2021's budget will look shortly. The council will then vote on it in a future meeting. Now, the city council meeting did start at 5:15, just about 45 minutes ago, and so far they have not gotten to Mayor Larson's budget proposal. I will be following along with that meeting throughout the night, and will bring you the latest on the CBS3 News at 10.
All right, thanks, Natalie. Well, just 2 days into the school year, parents are raising concerns with the Duluth School District's learning plan. Kids First 709 is a group of nearly 600 students and parents. There's 600 students and parents. Their goal is to create a safe learning environment for students during the pandemic. They want the district to reevaluate the Return to Learn plan as it's laid out now, saying it's inconsistent with Governor Tim Walz's executive orders and Minnesota Department of Education guidelines. Tonight at 10, we'll hear much more about their concerns and the superintendent's response.
New at 6, after starting the school year yesterday with all students learning in the classroom, the Hibbing School District is now changing course. The superintendent announced today, starting on Monday, 7th through 12th graders will move to a hybrid model. Elementary students will continue learning in person. There will be no class for any Hibbing students tomorrow. Teachers will spend the day planning. Hibbing superintendent says they base the change on a current COVID-19 data. As of today, those numbers are higher than 10 cases per 10,000 residents. And according to state recommendations, that means districts should consider hybrid learning. We also learned today Duluth's case rate dropped below a 10. That means schools here could consider in-person learning for all students. We reached out to school leaders to see if that's on their radar, but did not hear back.
And Dave joins us for a quick look at the weather. Dave, a lot of people could have woken up to some frost on their windows today.
Yeah, speaking of radar, we look at ours and there's nothing to show up because the sky is clear.
Okay.
Thanks to high pressure from the north that let things cool and temperatures drop. This morning's lows, a lot of 27s to talk about. Hibbing, Silver Bay, and let's see, over towards Aiken. There, they had those readings there. And 28 in Iron was on the chilly side. Bottom line is, tomorrow morning, it's going to be just as cold because we have another round of freeze warnings and frost advisories to talk about. We'll show you the map for those in a few more minutes, but right now we're taking a look at the Doppler for the upper Midwest, and the conquest of the north by that cold high pressure cell has been completed, and the clouds and shower chances have been pushed farther to the south. So Our day planner for Friday starts off near freezing once again, but warms up to 65 degrees in the afternoon. That's very close to normal. And I do think by Tuesday we'll go warmer than normal. I'll show you the 7-day forecast in a few more minutes to see if we stay warmer than normal past Tuesday.
Thanks, Dave. Today marks 5 years since Sheila St. Clair's family officially reported her missing. St. Clair was last seen in Duluth. She reportedly planned to go to the White Earth Reservation and never made it. Her family is one of the many hurt by the epidemic of violence against Native women. Duluth police say they are actively following leads in this case as they come in. Anyone with information is asked to contact the department. A vigil is planned for later this month.
A fire destroyed a home near Cook overnight. According to the Northland Fire Wire, crews responded to the home on the west end of Lake Vermilion just before 10 o'clock last night. The fire started in the chimney and then spread to the roof. We don't know if anyone was hurt. Over the next few weeks, you may find a community health survey in your mailbox.
It's the Bridge to Health survey, and CBS3's Emma Quinn shares why it's important you fill it out, especially during the pandemic.
In your mailbox, you may have come across a packet like this one. That would be the Bridge to Health Community Survey, something mailed to residents across the Northland at random every 5 years.
Originally, the survey began because there was a lack of local information that county health departments, health systems, and neighborhood nonprofits use to better understand their communities.
Surveys are sent out to 27,000 households in 9 counties in northeastern Minnesota and Douglas County, Wisconsin. The goal is to better understand where health needs are throughout the diverse region.
Every county is different, every community is different. We just have a really great diversity, and we need to make sure that our systems are built to support that diversity.
Of the 68 questions, it asks you to rate your dental care, your general and mental health. It also asks if there's any challenges you face being able to access those services. This year, organizers of the survey have also added questions about how the COVID-19 pandemic has impacted individuals.
Like jobs, access to income. So we hope to learn a lot about what COVID has done for our community, or how it's impacted our community.
In years past, the data from the surveys has helped provide more access to healthy foods throughout the Northland.
Once we get these data compiled and we see where the trends are, where the gaps are, what we have, what we don't have, that's where we start our planning.
So if you get a survey in the mail, organizers are asking everyone to fill it out, as it can help lead to the next community health project.
Now, once 30% of the surveys are filled out and returned, they will start compiling data. Organizers say in the 25 years they've been doing the survey, there has been strong turnout. For more information, you can head on over to our website.
On this National Suicide Prevention Day, experts say suicide remains a top public health concern in Minnesota. Suicide is the 8th leading cause of death in the state and 10th nationally, according to Northern Minnesota crisis officials. But there are some things you can do to help prevent it. Though every person can react differently, experts say you can look out for warning signs like feeling hopeless, depressed, or abusing drugs. Next is to ask them if they've ever thought of suicide or have in the past.
It can be scary at first, but we want to make sure we ask the question. Remember, asking the question will never do any harm. It's only going to do help.
After that, it's important to listen and then get help. We have more tips and phone numbers to call if you need help on our website.
Happening right now, plans are being unveiled to improve Minnesota's second largest bridge, located right here in the Twin Ports. Every day, about 34,000 cars drive over the Blatnick Bridge, which connects Duluth and Superior. But that'll soon change come 2028, when Minnesota and Wisconsin's transportation departments are planning a major construction project. The goal is to evaluate the aging bridge, look at traffic safety, and more. MnDOT and WisDOT are hosting a virtual public meeting right now discussing the project, the traffic impacts it could bring, and how much it will cost. We will have complete coverage of the meeting tonight at 10.
Still to come on Live Local CBS 3, we take a look at how certain interactions with your children can actually change the structure of their brains in this week's Eye on Parenting.
After a frosty start this morning, our daytime high temperatures got a little bit closer to normal. 62, about 5 short of the norm. Well, we'll start creeping upwards towards normal over the weekend. But first, another chilly morning for tomorrow. We'll talk about the advisories for this go-around coming up after this break.
Live, local, CBS3 News at 6 with Kristen Vaki, Anthony Matt, Kelly Hinson, and weather with meteorologist Dave Anderson on Live, local, CBS3. Watch Jeopardy at 4:30, followed by CBS3 Live at 5 on Live, local, CBS3.
Hi, I'm Stephen Ray. At Miners National Bank, we offer local originating, local processing, local closing, and local servicing. For your next mortgage, apply now. MinersMortgage.com. Miners National Bank of Evelyn, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Welcome to Medical Insight, a weekly healthcare feature brought to you by the experts at Essentia Health. Here's your host, Louis St. George.
Today on Medical Insight, radiation oncologist Ken Dornfeld explains how technology called the CyberKnife helps Essentia Health more effectively treat certain kinds of cancer.
The main use for this machine is to deliver radiation treatments to small targets. And its advantages compared to conventional machines is that we're able to focus very crisply and accurately. That robotic arm allows us to deliver radiation from multiple dozens, really, of different angles and directions. That way we can direct small amounts of radiation through tissue in a way that's not harmful or damaging for normal tissue, but focus the radiation at its greatest intensity where the cancer is. There is less collateral damage. This tool is able to really, in some ways, bend light or deliver radiation in a way that curves around normal tissues.
The CyberKnife is especially adept at treating lung cancer, a disease that Essentia approaches with a comprehensive program.
So at Essentia, we've worked very hard to develop ways of decreasing lung cancer mortality. I look at this as a very sophisticated tool that's on the very front lines, or really the last step in our approach to minimizing lung cancer deaths. Our success rates, either with surgery or with this type of radiation treatment for early stage lung cancer, is in the range of 70 to 80%. And being able to deliver a curative treatment successfully and safely with machines like the CyberKnife can make a large decrease or a large impact on success rates for lung cancer treatment.
For Medical Insight, I'm Louis St. George.
To learn more about this and other health topics, visit essentiahealth.org/medical insight.
Numi Jewelers is a full-service jewelry store specializing in one-of-a-kind pieces and repairs. From a chain repair to a full custom piece, we'll get your jewelry looking new again. Stop in for a free repair estimate. Numi Jewelers, where true love is guaranteed.
This is a really weird house.
I choked on a banana. The more twists, the more crazy the house is, the more people start to panic. I like that.
At this point in time, everyone else is fair game.
Are you gonna come after me? Like, stupid.
Like, I'm so ready to just, like, run in slime and flip upside down. I don't know.
I'm like, yes, black girl magic, let's do it.
New Big Brother All-Stars, Wednesdays, Thursdays, and Sundays at 8/7 Central on CBS.
CBS3 News is brought to you by Duluth Casino. Watch Dave, Caitlin, and Austin for local weather you can trust on CBS. Now, the CBS3 Duluth WeatherMax forecast with meteorologist Dave Anderson.
Well, the past couple of mornings have been pretty brisk. You know, this summer was on the warmer side, and I had heard from gardeners that it was a really good crop of pumpkins. Well, there's been frost on plenty of them. 2 mornings in the past. Now tomorrow, 1 more morning with a freeze warning for the head of the lakes, parts of St. Louis County, Itasca County, Aiken County, and then in through northern Wisconsin. Frost advisory surrounding that zone. So bottom line, it's going to be cold, near the freezing mark. A couple of towns could dip into the 20s just like this morning. So gardeners, if you have anything left out there in the plot, you know, put the sheets on, because it's going to be chilly 1 more day before we do start to warm up for the next week ahead. And the 70s won't be out of the question by Tuesday. Maybe only Tuesday, but at least there'll be 1 more day near 75. So it could be a very, very nice day. And as usual, we Northlanders have to be patient, and we'll get there eventually. Right now, we have things that are a little cooler than normal at the airport. It's 61, 44% for the relative humidity with a west wind hitting 8 miles per hour. and a high barometric pressure reading of 1,029 millibars, thanks to the high pressure cell that's in place, chasing away the clouds, but also letting radiational cooling drop our temps overnight. Current temps in the Upper Peninsula are going in the upper 50s, from 57 in Watersmeet to 58 for Ironwood. In northern Wisconsin, the range is going roughly from 58 in Hayward to 62 in Superior. Northern Minnesota has a wider range, going from the upper 50s near Moose Lake down to 50 for our friends in Grand Marais right by the lake, to lower 60s for much of the interior parts of the Arrowhead. And again tonight, low temps will fall into the 30s. A couple of places in the 20s are very possible. Tomorrow's high temps will try to get into the mid-60s, which is a sign of the warm-up that's going to culminate on Tuesday at 75. Doppler map right now shows that high pressure going a long way and keeping clouds at bay, and the clouds and the rain showers that parts of Wisconsin and the UP had yesterday are being pushed farther to the southeast as the high holds on to our region for probably one more day. Tomorrow we start cold, could finish a little bit warmer, all again thanks to the high pressure cell, but then that retreats back to the north once we get past midnight, and lower pressure from the southwest comes in, brings us an 80% chance for rain on Saturday, which could add up to a quarter or even half of an inch, but that's already gone by Sunday as higher pressure takes over again to dry us up for a spell. The 7-day forecast is going to show very few rain chances. Tonight, good chance for cold temperatures into the 30s in Minnesota, with 20s not out of the question. Looking at Wisconsin and Michigan, low 30s possible there as well, so clear and cool. But then warming up a bit tomorrow afternoon. Wisconsin and the UP should have a partly cloudy sky with highs in the mid to upper 60s. And mid-60s are possible inland in Minnesota. A little bit cooler by the lake, but partly cloudy sky from the high, which in turn becomes a cloudy sky on Saturday with that 80% rain chance. And then the return of sunshine hits us on Sunday and is with us all the way through next Wednesday. And the big excitement of that dry period will be 75 on Tuesday, Tony. But enjoy it while you can, because we already start to cool and cloud up a little bit right afterwards.
I thought after yesterday and the day before and those cold temps that we might not ever see 70 again, so it's good to see it on the 7-day for now.
That's a good point, and keep in mind there's a vague chance it could be the last time.
Okay.
So take pictures.
Embrace it. Thanks, Dave.
Parents do a lot for their kids, like keeping them nourished, making sure they get exercise, and exposing them to new experiences so their minds grow.
The science now shows that certain interactions between parents and children actually change the structure of their brains, improving their social and emotional skills into adulthood. CBS3's Leanne Valdez has more.
Many of the teens in the Allegheny Youth Development Judo class signed up to practice basic self-defense.
You grab them and pull them in, and then you use this.
Beyond training their bodies, these boys and girls are learning principles of self-control that give them a mental and emotional edge.
Like when I get mad, I can calm down more.
Because when he has to listen to follow instructions, this helps him as far as being in school as well.
University of Pittsburgh psychologist Jamie Hansen studies the brain to document changes that occur after activity that stress self-regulation. Researchers gather data from over 600 participants in an intervention developed at the University of Georgia, designed and implemented in surrounding communities. It was designed to improve warmth, supportness, and positive caregiving between parents and kids living in poverty.
Youth had been in this safe condition, the safe intervention, had fewer behavioral problems.
Later, as adults, 100 of the participants underwent brain scans. Hansen examined the two parts of the brain important in self-regulation, the hippocampus and the prefrontal cortex. Even years later, positive brain changes were still evident.
We found enhanced activity or enhanced communication between these two brain regions in the intervention group.
Hansen says parents can support the development of self-regulation through responsive parenting and helping their kids develop concrete goals and plans for the future.
What else? Here goes some more. Okay.
Hansen says research suggests if communities invest in programs that are integrative and effective, it's possible to see the benefits for decades.
Ahead in sports, college hockey in the Northland is officially on hold. Kelly has the details coming up.
Get your new ATV from Duluth Lawn and Sport, the region's largest power sports dealer.
CBS3 live cams are brought to you by Kohler Chevrolet Buick GMC Cadillac. You're not just getting a car, you're getting Kohler.
Donald Trump is lying again. Joe Biden will not raise taxes on anyone making under $400,000. Biden will close tax loopholes for big corporations. Trump's tax cut giveaway exploded our debt, so he's threatening Social Security and Medicare. Biden will make the wealthy and big corporations pay their fair share, so we can protect Social Security and Medicare and invest in schools and health care.
I'm Joe Biden, and I approve this message.
Let's face it, it's been a tough year. But here in Minnesota, we're pretty tough too. We help each other, we work together, and we solve problems. That's what I try to do every day as your congressman. Like helping to save pensions for our union workers, standing with snowplow drivers during their strike, and fighting to lower health care costs for seniors and our most vulnerable. I'm Pete Stauber, and I approve this message because together, we're fighting for our way of life.
I have been working to lower prescription drug prices since my first day in the Senate. And when Congress passed into law my bill to lower the price of insulin by making generics more available, progress finally. Now I'm working on a plan to manufacture drugs in America and build a supply chain so we're not relying on other countries for the medicine we need. I'm Tina Smith, and I approve this message because I'll work with anyone and do whatever it takes to get the job done.
Shopping for a new kitchen at Skips has never been better. Take home your dream kitchen today with Skips Fruitwood Oak Cabinets in painted or dark shaker styles. You can rely on Skips for quality and durability at affordable prices. Stop by with your measurements and see how you can take home beautifully painted or stained cabinets today at a truly affordable price. Visit us online at skipshomecenter.com or stop in to see our showroom at 4728 Rice Lake Road, Duluth.
So, you made it all the way up to the North Pole?
Yep, and the South. But I need good Medicare coverage so I can keep exploring.
Well, we have a range of Medicare Advantage plans, some including dental, vision, prescription, and travel benefits.
Can I find them online?
Yeah, absolutely. Or you can give us a call.
Sounds good.
Well, our stop is just up ahead.
So that was the shortest ride I think I've ever been on.
Yeah, quarantine legs. Gotta work those muscles back up.
Right now, millions of people and billions of devices are connected to the internet. Homes, businesses, hospitals, schools. The security and reliability of these connections are more important than ever. That's why at Mediacom, we've built a network to protect them. A network that sees threats, fixes problems before they occur, and keeps you going with 99.99% network reliability.
Watch Jeopardy at 4:30, followed by CBS3 Live at 5 on Live Local CBS3.
It is not the news as college hockey fans we wanted, but ultimately what was expected. UMD men's and women's hockey will not get to drop the puck as early as October due to the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic. Instead, we're looking at more of a November 20th as the earliest start date for college hockey in the Northland. The men's conference, the NCHC, is looking at November 20th as the earliest for conference games. That would mean UMD's first game, as it stands, would be November 27th when Alaska Fairbanks comes to town. But of course, that is subject to change. The same is true of the WCHA and the University of Minnesota Duluth women's hockey program. They will not start on time, according to an announcement from the conference. The WCHA did not give a specific start date like the NCHC did. The league is still finalizing schedule options that are to be released at a later date. Earlier today, I had the chance to chat with UMD Athletic Director Josh Burlow about how this was the anticipated news, but he is still optimistic.
I've been impressed with how the hockey commissioners have worked together across men's and women's hockey, 11 different conferences to go ahead and be unified and people rising to the occasion during a time of crisis. And I think there's some optimism to certainly see and feel right now but finding ways to have hockey. We've seen some sports at the professional and other college levels begin to happen. We're learning about the virus every single day and how to have the safest possible environment. While certainly we're more optimistic at times than others, I feel like that we're strongly positioned to have men's and women's hockey yet this year.
And the difference between the NCHC and the WCHA's announcement is that the NCHC made a potential start date named. The WCHA hasn't yet finalized their schedule, and this isn't something you should read too far into.
I think it's assessing the current circumstances, and the dates are, while chosen for good reason and rightful, the lack of a date means that you're maintaining a little bit more flexibility. I think at the end of the day, they're probably going to start within weeks of each other, but that remains to be seen, and we'll navigate that together. And I wouldn't read into the lack of a specific date on the WCHA side at all.
And another huge college sports news on the day, the University of Minnesota announced that they have made the decision to discontinue 4 of their 25 varsity programs. In a press release, Minnesota says they are estimating a loss of approximately $75 million this fiscal year. And we are almost there. In less than an hour, the 2020 NFL season will officially kick off at Arrowhead Stadium in Kansas City. Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs are hosting Deshaun Watson, J.J. Watt, and the Texans. The game will be played in front of approximately 17,000 fans at Arrowhead. Kansas City is one of the few franchises allowing fans to start this season. And on Sunday, when the Packers and the Vikings get going, it will be in front of no fans. That's going to do it for sports for now. We'll have more here back tonight at 10. Kristen and Tony, I'll send it back to you in the studio.
All right, thanks, Kelly. Tonight on the CBS3 News at 10, we introduce you to Carl Sundquist. The Iron Ranger has wrote and played music for much of his life, but he spent the pandemic doing something he's never done before. And as our Briggs LaSavage found out, it was a passion project unlike any other. Coming up at 10, we'll dive into his inspiration and explain how he hopes it will inspire you too. Engineers have developed a robot that can detect whether people are wearing a mask to guard against COVID-19.
Robots everywhere. This robot's name is Pepper. It is a 47-inch high robot with human-like features that is already in operation in some countries, welcoming visitors to shops, exhibitions, and other public spaces. Pepper's camera scans the faces of people approaching it, and if it detects the lower half of their face is uncovered, it pronounces the phrase, "You have to always wear a mask properly." If it sees that the visitor then puts on a mask, the robot follows up with the phrase, "Thank you for having put on your mask."
Manners always work.
Yeah.
Robot,
Please and
human,
thank you.
just use your manners.
Yeah.
All right, Dave.
Next step is RoboCop. Look out.
Yeah.
Tony's not wearing his mask. And he's not. Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Let's talk
social
about
distancing.
the flight.
It's social distancing, yeah.
Might want to wear a hat tonight and tomorrow morning if you get out and about early, because we're looking for another round of freeze advisories and frost advisories, and a start in the 30s in the morning with a finish in the 60s. Then there's a rain chance on Saturday, followed by a long stretch of sunshine from Sunday through Wednesday.
All right, thanks for joining us.
We'll see you again at 10 o'clock.